Good evening, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here on Mondays, to see so many friendly faces. And before I begin with today's gospel moment, I wanted to make a little bit of an advertisement for our website. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it is loveandcharity.org. And you can see here that at the very top in the menu, there are several different links to information concerning Spiritism. For example, if you click on here, and just scroll down, you get a nice quote here from a Spiritist scholar in Brazil named Cosme Massi, which I recommend watching his lectures if you're not familiar with his work. They're all available on YouTube. You can come down here and you can read about what Spiritism is according to Kardec and the Spirits. And it's available both in Portuguese and English, and some of the sections as well are available in Spanish. So all you have to do is click on the little Brazilian flag icon or the Spanish flag icon to see the same page in Portuguese. So bear with me because the connection is not that great. And here you go, it's the same page. And also on the corner, there are links to our Twitter page, to our Facebook page, to our YouTube channel, and to our Google Plus profile. If you click on Twitter, what we do is we post new messages every day that may bring some enlightenment to you, that may make you feel a little bit happier if you're having a bad day. And on Facebook, we do the same thing. We also put all of our announcements on Facebook concerning upcoming lectures, schedules, events, things of that sort. And on our YouTube page, we put videos such as the one that I'm filming today up there, as well as our lectures, some messages in English and in Portuguese from Givaldo Pereira Franco, from Chico Xavier, from several of the books, such as Our Daily Bread, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, as well as a few others. So just so you're aware of it, you can go check these out, follow us, like our page, and share it with your friends if you'd like to. Okay? That's all I want. So today's message for the gospel moment that I bring to you is one of the 8 blessings or beatitudes from the Sermon on the Mount, and this is Matthew 5:5, and it says, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." So who are the meek, or what does meek mean? The word meek means somebody who is humbly compliant, subservient, somebody who is reserved, who is somewhat introverted. And it is funny that Jesus here says that they will inherit the earth, because Jesus always taught us to focus on the spiritual goods instead of the material goods. However, what he is saying here is more or less a prophecy of the future, because we do live in a world where we need to worry about the goods of this life in order to be able to go through the trials and tribulations of life. We need goods, material goods, to help us to progress in this life. And until we actually reach the heavenly riches that Jesus promised to us, we do need these goods. And if we understand that earth is a planet of trials and expiations, we are composed, the majority of the spirits that are incarnated on the planet are composed of what we would call inferior spirits. Or not necessarily inferior spirits, but spirits that have lower tendencies, that are more easily taken by the passions and the inferior vices of the earth, because we are a still or a yet unevolved planet. So this is the majority of the people that populate the earth. And so the evil vibrations, the lower vibrations and influences sort of predominate our planet. And because of this, a good majority of people are arrogant, proud, selfish, and a very small minority, that's sort of redundant, but a minority is meek. In other words, reserved. They keep to themselves. They don't want to go and expose themselves to the troubles of this world. So they remain at home, they remain calm and collected, and they just hope and pray for the best. So what happens? Those that are proud, those that are violent, those that expose themselves to the troubles of the earth, of life here, they actually get everything for themselves. They impose themselves on the meek because they know that the meek are not going to fight back. So they can walk all over them. It's very easy to do this because they're so reserved and they're so afraid of doing anything. because they know that the consequences, they'll have to bear with the consequences later on. So if we think of this as a prophecy by Christ, all we have to do is understand the law of progress, which is one of the universal laws, one of the constant laws. Because if this world is in a period or a stage of trials and expiations, it will advance to its next stage, the stages that were explained to us by the superior spirits in the Spirit's book, and the next stage is that of regeneration. So as we progress, those spirits that are predominantly proud, violent, and focus more on the vices and the lower natures of the earth are going to be sort of phased out if they do not go along with the progress of divinity. They can't fight against the tide of progress. So if they remain stubborn, they're going to eventually have to leave the earth, because then what happens? The meek will truly inherit the earth. Because then those who are good and kind and humble are now going to predominate this planet as it progresses. And this spirit of humility, the spirit of love and compassion and solidarity and fraternity is going to embrace the entire earth. And truly the meek will become the majority. And the earth will be composed mostly of these kind souls that awaited so patiently and humbly for this moment. And the world will rid itself of the inferior souls. So we understand that this is the law of progress. This is what Jesus meant by this. It is simply a prophecy, a very lucid one, because the meek will indeed inherit the earth. And there's a very good message on page 128 of chapter 9, item 8, brought to us by the Spirit Lazare in 1863, written by a medium that's in the Gospel Explained by the Spiritist Doctrine, or the Gospel According to Spiritism. And that message succinctly summarizes what I've just explained, and I'm going to read it to you right now. And it goes as follows. Surrender then to the forward impetus that is given to your souls. Embrace the great law of progress, which is the motto of your generation. As for those who are either too complacent or aren't open to new understanding, they are the unfortunate ones. Sooner or later, their attitude will be changed by those who inspire the progress of humanity. Their rebelliousness will be checked by means of the double action of brake and spur. In other words, as civilization advances, they either choose to go along with civilization, or they're going to crash and burn and be left behind, because this is God's law, the law of progress. And if they don't abide by it, they're going to have to go through more suffering before they can truly humble themselves and understand their position in life as inferior beings, so they can then continue on this ascension towards divinity, which is our goal. When necessary, by the double action of brake and spur when necessary, eventually their resistance will wear out. We get tired. Everyone gets tired of going through problems. Everyone gets tired of fighting against things that you don't agree with. Sometimes it's easier to just accept it, to humble yourself before the problems and understand that maybe they're there because they're going to impel you to do better things. They're going to force you to use your intellect, to learn, to overcome these obstacles so you can progress as well. In the meantime, those who are mild and gentle, the meek, will be blessed. They will inherit the earth because they are more receptive to new teachings, because they are humble. So I thank you very much, and this is this week's Gospel Moment. Thank you.